I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Like what you do for a living? These things you see?
You have to wear blinders sometimes. Most times.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out.
You're retiring. 6 more days and you're all the way gone.
So how long have you lived here?
Too long.
Detective David Mills is looking for a way in.
We'll be spending every waking hour together from now until the time I leave. I'll show you who your friends and enemies are.
Look, I've worked homicide 5 years. Not here.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a homicide.
they're caught in a game.
No fingerprints and no witnesses of any kind.
Nope. About the only thing we know about that guy right now is he's totally insane.
Where the price of sin is death.
There are 7 deadly sins. Gluttony,
You're going to come take a look at this?
greed,
No one touches anything.
sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7. You can expect 5 more of these.
Body was found on Tuesday morning.
I hate this city.
We're gonna get who did this.
This will be the very definition of swift justice.
There are 2 more bodies, 2 more victims.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's laughing at us.
He had a gun.
He's 2 murders away from completing his masterpiece.
Let's finish it.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
7.
Hi, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review, and this is a request for First Power 100. Thank you so much for the request. If anyone ever wants to send me requests for videos, re-reviews, reviews, movie topics, commentaries, whatever you would like, you can do so via directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon, where certain tiers do use certain things. The links will be down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. But First Power 100, very nice person, been kind to me throughout the years. I appreciate that. He wanted my thoughts on the 1990 film Seven. And what more can I say about Seven that, I mean, multiple people on YouTube has talked about this movie. And David Fincher is one of those directors that, yes, I hate Alien 3 with a passion. I still do to this day. I mean, hell, David Fincher hates it too, granted for different reasons, but this is the film he did after Alien 3, and this is what I was saying. Alien 3, if you want to be dark, depressing, don't do it with Alien. Just make your own movie. And the way he did with this, but I can like this. A, it's a better made movie. B, it makes more sense because it doesn't have all the production issues that Alien 3 had. And C, it's not fucked over a franchise. Like, imagine if this was Lethal Weapon 4. Like, imagine this is Lethal Weapon 4 and Mel Gibson lost to Kevin Spacey and Rene Russo's head was in the box. And Danny Glover was like, "Don't get away from him, Riggs! Get away from him!" And then Riggs, he loses by shooting Kevin Spacey's character while Rene Russo's head is in the box. And that's the last Lethal Weapon film. And then Riggs goes to a mental hospital. That'd be pretty fucking depressing, and I would hate it. Okay, because you're taking established content and characters I enjoy, like Alien Aliens, and in my opinion, you're flushing down the toilet. It's not other people's opinion. Okay, we agree to disagree. I fucking hate Alien 3. I've said multiple times as to why. I did a review long ago that's still up. I still despise that film. But here, the story, the concept is interesting. A guy who kills you with the 7 deadly sins. And you have the gluttony with making the guy force feed until his stomach burst. You have greed with a defense attorney, and there's a pound of his flesh from his love handles. There's the sloth. I think he was a drug dealer, a child molester, and he's strapped to the bed, and he's emaciated. But they found him alive. Let's see, the 7 deadly sins are gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. See, I memorized the 7 deadly sins because of this movie. And I will say, on a superficial level, the trailer to this film, if I did a list of the top 20 trailers, this would be on there. I know this sounds like a stupid thing, but a trailer that tells you enough of the story, but does not give everything away, including the ending. But the way it's edited, the music it used, the sense of mystery it propels into the viewer. I just think it's a very well constructed trailer. I'm not sure if they'll be able to put it in front of this video. Usually they'll only let me do TV spots, because otherwise copyright. Like, copyright doesn't go after too much on TV spots, but it seems like trailers it does, unless I try to put over here with no sound. But even then, at times I get in trouble too, so it's a wonky thing. But with that said, the cast works well. You got Morgan Freeman and you got Brad Pitt, who do a great job together. Morgan Freeman, he's a great actor. Brad Pitt, I've enjoyed many of his films, including the films other people don't, like World War Z and Ad Astra, and let's see, I did enjoy those two. What's Brad Pitt? I barely remember Troy. Legends of the Fall I haven't seen. 12 Monkeys I could not get into, but it wasn't because of Brad Pitt. California I didn't mind, with California with a K, with him and David Duchovny. I didn't mind that film. Didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But yeah, I like Brad Pitt as an actor. And, oh yeah, Fight Club, which David Fincher directed. And that's the thing with David Fincher. I like Seven. My favorite of his is The Game, because I love Michael Douglas's performances. I love the ending to that film. I just love the whole idea, the way it's shot. I really think The Game is underrated. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite David Fincher film. Fight Club is a good one. Could not get into The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Just could never get into it. There was talks of him doing World War Z 2, which I would have been very curious about, to see what he would do with it. At one point I know there was going to be a David Fincher Spider-Man. I would have been interested in that too. I mean, yeah, I don't like what he did with Alien 3. I despise it. But if I'm going to be fair, I do like a lot of his other movies. Panic Room, I know someone mentioned to do a commentary request. I will get to the commentaries, try saving them last because they don't take a lot on the voice, because it's tougher to do commentaries. But I will do it. I promise I will. And one of them is for Panic Room. Yeah, and I do enjoy that film as well. But I do think he's a talented director. He's a guy who came from music videos, but you see a film like this, and the way he made the movie look with all the gloom and doom, the rain, I guarantee you so many people copied that after this film, where it was always raining outside and seemed like stormy weather all the time, and you just got this sense of doom permeating the air of the city. And you have Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, you got Arlie Ermey playing a good guy, the captain. I believe Shaft himself, Richard Roundtree. It's a small role, but he's in it. Gwyneth Paltrow is Brad Pitt's wife. Of course, Kevin Spacey, which Sally would in real life become a scumbag. But he plays the killer here, so it fits. I do think Kevin Spacey's a good actor. I just don't like what he did, of course. And the premise is Morgan Freeman's character is a little bit burned out, just a bit cynical. He's ready to retire. Brad Pitt, he's been on the force for years, but now he's in this new unit. Morgan Freeman's supposed to show him around for 7 days. And during this, they're on this case. And this case of, they find these bodies with, again, gluttony, greed, sloth. And it doesn't end the best. Doesn't end the best. And usually, I will admit, I'm the type of guy that's like, sue me, I like a happy ending, I'm a sucker. I know that's limited. I know that's single-minded. I know that's putting my aspirations in a box, but it's a box I like. What can I say? I love the box, especially between a woman's legs, if it's clean, and no STDs, shaven, and at least 20 years old, and consensual. But there are times, whether it be John Carpenter films that ends on a question mark or not really the most happiest place, a film like this, that if it's done that well, that's up to the opinion, which is totally subjective. I'm like, you know what? It did it well. I appreciate it did it well. It accomplished it well. You know, it's a really well-written film. The actors do their jobs fantastically. Each area of the victim is so gruesome. I mean, the guy, again, he's so big. He's been forced all this food. The emaciated, the effects on that are fantastic. How super thin, and you think he's dead, and it's like, it's just, Jesus Christ. The actual room of John Doe and all the shit he has around it. And like I said, I liked the relationship between the two leads. How Brad Pitt is a bit more hopeful, but Morgan Freeman, he's like, whatever, man. We're just picking up the pieces. We're going to file it away on the off chance it'll be needed later. That's all we're doing. We're not going to solve this case. And sadly, Morgan Freeman's right. You know, they find his place, these murders, they're a sermon to us. And that's it. I know there are other people that are up for roles. Like apparently Denzel Washington was up for the role in Seven. Which now that I think about it, that's probably why he did Fallen. I just thought about that. Just like, I ranted on Fallen. I know people like that film. That's okay. I'd rather watch the first Power Lead on Phillips. I think it's a better made movie. More satisfying movie. There's many other films of that nature I think are better. Fallen, I think, is an overlong, boring movie, as well as having a lousy ending. That's just me. But then I'm like, why did he do this film? I'm like, it's probably because of this. He said no to this, and he admitted that he regretted saying no to this. He said no to this at first, oh, it's too dark, and then he saw the film, and he's like, oh, shit, I fucked up. And that's probably why he did Fallen. Oh, I don't want to mess it up again. And I think Sylvester Stallone was up for, I forget which role. This is 95. Probably filmed in 94. So it probably would have been for the Brad Pitt role, I'm guessing. I mean, it would have been interesting to see Stallone do this kind of movie. But no, the closest he did was ICU, which I do like. I do like ICU. Now, with all that said, I do think the actors that we got did a solid enough job. After, like, what else could I go into that hasn't really been talked about? I mean, the ending, for those who don't know, the ending to 7, spoilers, definitely the sort of apprehension of doom, where like Brad Pitt's like, oh no, we're here in the middle of nowhere, what if we miss it? And Kevin Spacey's like, oh, don't worry, you won't miss a thing. And now that you watch it again, you go, yeah, he's sadly right. I do like the line where Brad Pitt says, you're no messiah, you're a movie of the week, you're a fucking t-shirt. You're a fucking t-shirt at best. I need to use that line. Of course, the what's in the box, which has become a meme that's used a lot with that picture of Brad Pitt. What's in the box? What's in the... I think I've said that in reviews. What's in the box? And I know the studio understandably thought, I don't know about that ending, but Brad Pitt and David Fincher really wanted that ending. And I do think the film would have worked if it didn't have that ending. I do think it would have worked. But I know it's become such a popular thing about that movie, and such a, in a way, popular with pulp culture, because you say what's in the box, they know immediately what you're talking about. So in a weird way, I don't know if it would become the film people know nowadays without an ending like that, because they have shot people so much that they didn't forget it, and then they talked about it. And said, no, you go see it, which helps with word of mouth. And I will say it is effective. It is effective in what it's doing. Now, granted, would I have liked an alternate cut? Where is a happier ending? Yeah, but that's just my own opinion, and I'm just a guy that likes happy endings, both in real life and in movies. But happy endings in real life, that's a different happy ending, but don't talk about that. But it doesn't seem like it comes out of left field in a weird way, because the rest of the film has been such this gloom and doom. And although it might not seem much, I do like the little bit at the end where Morgan Freeman, he decides not to quit his job. He says a line similar to, he was doing a quote, that the world's a good place and it's worth fighting for. Well, I believe in the second part. As in, he does believe it's worth fighting for, and in a weird way, this kind of really put his faith in trying to help once again. Although maybe it'd be funny to, I know this isn't true, but, or this is me just bullshitting, that he stayed on the force, he changed his name, and he became Alex Cross, and along came a spider and kissed the girls. That's not it, of course. I mean, it's not the same character, but I just think that'd be funny if you think of it that way, that he changed his name, and he became Alex Cross, and kissed the girls, along came a spider, saved people, and it's like, okay, something good came out of it. I mean, that's a dumb thought, but I'm sure people with some editing, they could do it. I know at one point there was talk of a sequel. I know David Fincher, the actors, did not want to do it, but the studio, of course, just the studio saw the success. I think they said they want to call it 8. I'm like, 8 what? 8 what? I mean, there's an 8th sin no one knows about? 8th deadly sin? Is the secret 8th deadly sin? Is in the Ark of the Covenant? Like, what? It is. Wasn't there a plot someone had for that, and then they turned into a different movie? But I forgot what the hell the movie was. Like something about they had a script for it, but then no one wanted to do it, and then they took it and they changed the characters, and I could be wrong on that. But there were a lot of movies that kind of copied this formula. One that I enjoyed a little bit more because I find it a bit more underrated, and that's Resurrection with Christopher Lambert, or Christophe Lambert. Same, directed by Russell Mulcahy, who did Highlander. And it's about a killer. Instead of the 7 deadly sins, he's killing people to get body parts because he wants to recreate the body of Jesus Christ. And actually his partner is Leland Orser, who's in this film as the guy who was forced to fuck someone with a knife strap on. And he's the guy in this movie. Yeah, I fucked her. He plays Christopher Lambert's. I've heard it pronounced Christophe Lambert, but I just like saying Christopher Lambert more. Excuse me if that's the wrong way to say it, but oh well. That's what they said in all the advertisement. Christopher Lambert. So blame it on them. But Leland Orser plays Christopher Lambert's partner in Resurrection. And that came out in 1999. And yeah, this is more polished than Resurrection, but Resurrection, maybe because it has a bit of a happier ending, which I know is superficial, but hey, different shows, different folks. But maybe because I'm more of going for the underdog, so if a film's the underdog, I just tend to like a movie more. I can't help it, that's just how I am. But this is still a good movie as well. It'd be a good double feature, Seven and Resurrection. But yeah, it is a great movie. I do admit that. I would say my favorite David Fincher film is still The Game. What would be after that? I can't remember every single one he's done. I mean, of the ones I do remember, The Game. Maybe Fight Club than this, or maybe this and Fight Club. I do like Panic Room. I'm not sure. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Later. What's in the box, goddamn? What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? My dick. Later.